Right. Thank you so much for stopping in. This video is part 6 now of the Yazi series, the conversation I had with Yazi, the little one, as I understand it, of Swaruu Official. So as we left off on the February 22nd of 2025, Yazi showed me what she moves around in, the craft or whatever we're going to call it, the ship that she moves around in. She showed me that, and then she said, "Utilize your magnetic nature." I said, "What does that mean?" So the conversation continues from here. I said, "What does that mean? What does utilize your magnetic nature mean?" Yazi said the following. This is the channeling I received. You transmit energy through many ways, and you attract energy. Attract is also magnetic. You understand magnetism as attracting and repelling. You, human souls, when shifting their reality thoughts, can, when utilizing magnetic resonance, can accelerate in any direction by adjusting the positioning. This is how our vessels, ships, crafts maneuver. And the other thing I want to say about this is when she was giving me this information, now writing, I automatically write my channeled messages. Sometimes, I mean, personalities come through the writings that I do. And in this case, it was small. It was small writing. And I don't know, it depends on who's giving me the message. But, sometimes it's big and loopy, and sometimes this one was pretty small. Maybe I'll take a picture of this and show it to you just so you can get an idea. Yeah, I will. I'll do that. I'll put it someplace so that you can see how the 14th came in, how the 22nd came in. I'm sorry, but I'm going to continue now. But I wanted you to know that because it's really important. There's just certain things that are really some about what I do. Okay. So she says, this is how our vessels, ships, crafts, maneuver. And then I said, how do you adjust? She said, with our thought intention. Then I said, is that something we can do here on Earth? Is that is that something we can do here on Earth? And then this is what she said. This is what Yazi came back saying. Nikola Tesla was on track. As I understand, this is Yazi set talking. As I understand, Nikola Tesla is one of your Spirit Council members. She's saying that to me. And I said, yes, he is, because he is. I picked Nikola Tesla energy source to be on my Spirit Council as one of my Spirit Council members. Yazi said, indeed, you and some you associate with as clients, so my clients, have had living physical times with that soul energy, the Nikola Tesla soul energy. It is well informed. That's nice. And then I said, one of my clients clearly comes to my mind. Thank you for telling me that. I do writings for people. I do channelings for people. They ask me questions, and one of my clients came clearly to mind. And I said, thank you for telling me that. Yazi said, you are accurate. So the person I was thinking about, there's several, but the one primary person I was thinking about, I was correct. And then I said, thank you. Okay, thank you. Yazi then said, at the current state of being for the inhabitants of the earth, there are only a few who can shift their body of reality. However, the nature of people to conform, in quotes, conform is still greater than shifting the mind thought of reality. It will come to more and more. And then I said earlier, I asked if you could tell me more about the exciting things you are seeing. So I kind of went back to the an original question before she kind of went on to the showing me her vessel, the vessel that she rides around in. So I said, I said earlier, I asked you to tell us some of the exciting things that you're seeing. And then she says, Yazi says, I just spoke of the mind thought changes happening right now. Then she said, humans talk about dimensions. They rate themselves by the level of dimension they believe themselves to be in. And they rate others in the same way. I would like to say, from a perception distance, the dimension levels, third, fourth, fifth, and so on, the dimension level definition are derived by physical humans, defined from a physical body perception. The definitions are not accurate. The perceptions are realistic. I mention this because the people of Earth are coming to a time in the revolution of Earth galaxy that is very exciting. The movement of Earth is gradually approaching the energetics of physically understanding dimensions of energy. People will begin to recognize the definitions given were just a thumbnail, not exact. The shift in reality allows people to understand dimension is individual and it is malleable, pliable, to be developed and utilized by the individual for their own soul requirement. It will require that people allow this process. It is a very important change. Okay, so that is, I have a little bit more. So then my next question was, I just remembered, because at that point I just remembered, I said, I want to talk to you. I'm talking to Yazi. I want to talk to you. When you were telling me where you were, you said you saw a craft moving from one committee to another. Can you tell us what is a committee? So I'm going to, this is going to take long. I'm not actually finished. Just occurred to me that we were talking and then I stopped. So I've got to ask her to, we need to finish this part of the conversation. So I'm going to stop it here and then we'll pick up with the next section with that question. What is a committee? They darted around. One of the early pictures or visuals she showed me. So, okay, so I'm going to stop that here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being patient. And I'm just giving this conversation to you, just reading what I had written several days ago. So please stay tuned. I'll be back. But please watch my other videos too. Stay tuned because there's a lot more to come.